All right, everybody, so we are at part 2 of the interactive reader tutorial. Again, we have 4 screens here, or 4 slides, with 2 reading checkpoints. And so, again, each reading checkpoint is worth 4 points of the total 36. Points total. All right. So out of the total 36 points, each reading checkpoint is worth 4. Okay. So please make sure that you are striving to get these correct on when we go back to the digital interactive readers, because these are counting toward your grade. All right. Now, this particular checkpoint is another highlighting. However, it gives you 2 colors to highlight with. Note, if you highlight the correct sentences, but they're in the wrong color, it will still count it wrong. Okay? So if you're highlighting the 2 sentences and you know those 2 sentences are correct, make sure that they're in the right color if this program is saying that it's wrong, okay? Because you need to make sure it's exactly correct, or else the program does not like that, okay? So you get 2 highlighter colors or 2 marker colors, whatever, and then you will highlight what it asks you to. So for the first sentence, I'm going to highlight purple, okay? So with the purple highlighter, I need the sentence that compares commanding officers in Cook's day. Okay, so a sentence or a statement, remember we're looking at slide 6, a statement or a sentence that compares all of the other commanding officers. So that's what I'm basically looking for. I'm looking for a sentence that talks about commanding officers. Cook's crew also mourned the loss of their captain, whom they admired. Well, no, that's talking about the crew. It's not talking about the officers. Other commanding officers believed that it was important to be tough on their crews in order to look strong. Okay, that one I think fits, because it's talking about the other commanding officers, and it is comparing them. How are they all alike? Alright, so that's my first sentence. Is other commanding officers believe that it was important to be tough on their crews in order to look strong. Okay, so that's my first one. Second sentence, I'll use orange. Okay, the second sentence in orange, that contrasts Cook with most commanding officers. So this is different. Okay, how is Cook different? Well, if I look at the next sentence, it says, on the other hand. Well, if I could think back to my comparing and contrasting exercises that we've done on previous assignments, on the other hand is a key phrase for a compare-contrast text structure, and that's usually, noting differences. So just by looking at that, I can tell that that's probably going to be my sentence. It says, Cook, on the other hand, had come from the ranks of the sailors and believed that an officer could be both kind and strong. So yeah, that shows how Cook was different. It is contrasting Cook, it's setting him apart from the other commanding officers. So that is my second sentence then. Alright, so what does that look on the digital side? Oh, I've got lights. I need to go turn those off. There we go. Alright, now that there's not a big glare on the screen, y'all should be able to see it a lot better. Alright, so I'm going to use a little stylus here so that my big old finger is not covering up everything. So, first color. Again, you're highlighting the sentence, you're finding the sentence that compares commanding officers in Cook's day, and you're highlighting that sentence in yellow. Alright, so other commanding officers, I would tap it instead of trying to drag my finger or a stylus over it, trying to highlight it like you would a normal highlighter. Okay, So that's my first one. And then find the sentence that contrasts Cook with most commanding officers in this day, and you're highlighting that sentence in red. So I have to switch it over. Okay, I have to make sure that that's switched over. And then the following sentence is the one that I need to highlight there. All right, so that's what that should look like. Hit save and continue, and it shows me that I did it. All right, and then coming over here, now we have 7 and 8. Again, slide 8 is where the reading checkpoint is. So that is what we're looking at. Excuse me. Highlight the sentence that compares the explorations of astronauts in space to the explorations of James Cook on Earth. So we are comparing the explorations of astronauts and the explorations of James Cook. Okay? So how are they alike? All right. So now we come over here to this screen and we are looking for how the explorations are compared. All right. So you kind of have to get a little bit creative here, because it's not as, your answer here is not as clear cut. All right. There. It's still a little blurrier than I like. But whenever I go over it, it'll show it a little clearer on the screen. All right, it says Cook accomplishments inspired centuries of further explanation, not on Earth. Not really. This is more a cause and effect statement. That one's talking about the astronauts themselves. That's talking about how the ships, that's, talking about how the shuttles are named after the ships. Let's see. There was a contest, and the winning name was Endeavour, another ship. Cook had used his ship to explore unknown areas of Earth. It says, now astronauts would follow his example to discover the unexplored mysteries of space. Well, that last sentence is really the only one that talks about exploring, actually going out and looking. Okay, so now astronauts would follow his example to discover the unexplored mysteries of space. Well, if they are discovering the unexplored, that means they are, exploring. They're going out, just like, and is saying that astronauts are following his example. All right, so that. Notice that it is not word for word, okay? But it is close enough for you to interpret that that's what it means, okay? Some of your highlighting is going to do that, okay? It's not always going to be clear-cut keywords. You're going to have to think a little bit, all right? I know, y'all don't like thinking sometimes, but you gotta do that, okay? Or y'all don't like, thinking too hard on something. But this is the answer that you are going to be highlighting. Okay? So now astronauts will follow his example to discover the unexplored mysteries of space. All right? So that's what you need to look at sometimes whenever you are highlighting. So let me pull that back up so I can get the... All right, so that looks like over here. Again, it's only one color, so it's an easy one. You have to activate the highlighter, and then you're coming over here and you're highlighting the statement. Awesome, you correctly identified the sentence. All right, so as you've been going through that, you are filling out, you need to take the time to fill out the other 4 boxes on your summary graphic organizer, okay? So this right here gives you, if you've been doing that, when you get to this screen, then you are ready to start typing or start writing. All right? So here is my completely filled out summary graphic organizer. Now, that is just how I would do it, okay? Again, some of you guys write really tiny. Y'all will be able to put in full sentences here, or you would have something different. I've put notes because I write bigger. This is began working on a coal ship. Right here for screen 6, his cook was admired by many because he treated his crew kindly and cared about their health. That was, the main idea I pulled from that. Right here, he sailed and mapped around the world, left his influence in many places, and he led to the founding of New Zealand and Australia. So all of this right here is not word for word. I will probably end up expanding the sentences, but that is what I'm going to do. But that is going to be the next video, okay? So make sure that you are getting the right, getting those filled out. And then this right here is where you would put then your finished product. And we will get into how to fill this out and how to use it in our next video. All right, so make sure you get those 2 reading checkpoints done and turned in, and then fill out the rest of the summary graphic organizer so you are ready for part 3 of our tutorial series.